So hi everyone, I was just talking to this teacher, right? And I think the question guide in this video is, how do you take the tools that my Intelligent Adaptive Interventions lab builds for like super A/B testing and make them useful to you? And the question I think that we came up with was, what's a way that when you're in your class, you're explaining things in many different ways, right? Like you explain things to like 20 students or 30 students. You teach phys ed.
Yeah.
And you explain it in different ways, like, you know, Mary and then Sally and then Bob. But then you do it in different ways. And that's great. Like what you're doing is helpful for them, but when they go home, they don't have you anymore. So could we build a tool that would actually allow you to take all those explanations and stick them into like an online web page? And then other teachers could add their ideas. And then we use AI to figure out which ones each student needs at which point in time.
Yeah, I think it would be really helpful. Like, as a teacher, I always try to teach in different ways to meet the variety of learning needs of students in my classes. But you know, they don't always like engage in the homework, or I don't know, like it just would be amazing if I could also have like a tool that allowed like homework activities and different exercises to cater to their different learning needs, and that way it would help make it easier for me to offer different pedagogy
as
in
well.
my class.
And right now, what do they do in terms of like once they leave your class, what do they go home and do? Like what's the homework software you all use, or could you send them a link to a web page, or would that be a problem?
So I use a Google Classroom.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
We
I
do everything in Google Docs. Okay.
Yeah, I do Google Classroom, and I try to give students choice in assignments so that the way that they do assignments meets their skill sets.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'm lucky in phys ed that there's a lot more, I guess, options to do hands-on activities as well. I teach the grade 12 kinesiology also, and so that, I mean, there was a textbook with exercises for that, but that course particularly would be great to have like a website where students can go to extra practice questions.
And so I'm trying to picture if we were to build this like in 1 minute, you know, where we'd plug it in. So in your Google Classroom, like, is there an example of a place where you could plug in like a page or a link to a page would be like, everyone, here's a new interactive AI-driven place that will give you different explanations of concepts or different activities you can do.
Yeah, like I already have a section in the Google Classroom that's like extra resources.
Oh, so you could stick it in there?
Yeah, you could stick it there. So, you know, if
interesting.
you know, there might be a YouTube channel that I think is really helpful for students to follow, or I'm just thinking, we do fitness videos or things like that. So I have recommended videos or like YouTubers that that I like, that I would recommend that students use for, I mean, home fitness, or that was more in the pandemic, but absolutely, I already have that, like additional resources that students could use.
Well, you know, if you send me like a link to some examples, like some screenshots, what I can do is I can ask one of my PhD students if we can like just quickly kind of like build an interactive web page with this AI system that would use your resources. But
because the problem is
kind of
that
send me
I
the
can't
thing.
add somebody who's not in the school board.
Oh no, that's fine. I actually don't need to be in your class. I just need to see examples of, maybe it's this. Why don't you send me 3 things that you wish I could make better?
Sure.
Like say, Joseph, here's a choice of 10 assignments, but send all of them. Like I need to actually see them.
Sure, maybe I'll send you the culminating assignments that the students are doing now or something like that.
But give me like 3 options because we have to see which one works with our AI tool.
Okay.
But like, Joseph, here's all the list of 10 of assignments I give them. I want you to kind of like A/B test different explanations for how to do them. I want you to A/B test like different like ways students can write out their responses. And that's 1. And then 2 could be like, you know, here's some concept they never get the first time around. Or 3 could be, they're not motivated with this. How do I get them to actually do this?
Yeah, sure.
And then I can look at them and see if my PhD students can do something with it. We may not be able to, but if you give us options, we can, you know?
Sure, awesome.
Cool, this is great. And I think
it'll help for next year.
Yeah, and what you said was super insightful about, like, in your classroom, you always explain things in different ways and tailoring it, but the online resources aren't. So we need to give you things that like allow you to do that more easily. And ideally, when you talk to them, you'd be able to like capture right away and then give them after class.
And the thing is with teaching, it's always like I have a vision of what I want to do, but there's never, ever time to do my ideal lesson. Like, I mean, in an ideal world, I would be doing this and this. I try my best, but I'm also coaching basketball, I'm coaching badminton, I do all these extracurriculars. So you only have so much time, and you only have so much planning and prep time. And you know, we do the best that we can, but having resources to make it easier is also
so that's helpful. Another really good insight, which is we need to build tools that actually save teachers time and help them do more.
Right.
Like for example, as you talk to your students, if there was some way to like automatically record what you're saying
Yeah.
and transcribe it, then that can be given to students after class.
So they can already do that with the Google Translate.
Oh.
Like, so I have quite a few like English language learners students, and so they can record with the Google Translate.
And so
app.
you allow recording in your
Yeah,
class?
fine.
But do you record
Not
yourself?
everybody would. Like, I don't record my lesson. I mean, in phys ed too, it's more interactive, so they wouldn't
Yeah.
need to. But in my
So
kinesiology class, I do have one student who does
You know,
that sometimes.
I actually hypothesize that if you were to like, there's an app called Otter, like www.otter.ai. I hypothesize that if you were to record one of your classes, we could use our AI system to kind of like take out student stuff, like take out their data and not use it, or you could just stop when the students start talking, and we could actually compile what you've done into like a mini lesson.
Cool.
Like I'm pretty sure we could do that. So like you just talk randomly, all kinds of things, and we could actually then say,
Like, this is how you don't teach this concept.
no. I think that the idea is we could take what you do and then we could actually we could actually automatically, with some human work, some AI work, turn that into like after class. Everyone, here what's your name?
Shannon.
Here are the 3 things Shannon told you.
Yeah, or Miss
And
Mullen. Yeah, I guess.
Miss
Mullen.
Miss Mullen. Here are the 3 things Miss Mullen told you. And they could actually replay your voice and also see it written down. So it'd be like a refresher for them.
Yeah, that would be really helpful. I think especially for the students who are like English language
Mm-hmm.
learners.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Cool. All right, nice to meet you.
Nice
Take
to
care.
meet you too.
So everyone, what are your hashtag takeaways, hashtag next steps in this video? At the end of every video, I kind of ask people like to share takeaways and next steps. They
Okay.
don't actually do it, but it kind of helps them think about it.
Okay, cool.
Because I teach too, but at
Yeah,
university level.
thank you. Good luck.
Nice to meet you. Take care.